Okay, this is Equal Surf Ireland Crypto, and this is a market update. Okay, so we are 2 days away from the new year, and I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody out there. We've had quite a significant correction, as you can possibly imagine, and you all know about, on what is actually happening in the market. Okay, now I hope you can see this because I've just changed my settings again. This is on the 4-hour chart. Sorry, yeah, the 4-hour chart. So firstly, I'm just going to move my mic. Firstly, we are ranging, okay, in between $52,000 and up here. Okay, you can see here this red line. This is our resistance, and every time we come up here and test it, we've got rejected. Okay, so actually we've hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and got rejected. Okay, and if we go back way over here, we've got even rejected even more. But I did expect it to break through the 52,000 barrier, but we have got rejected quite beautifully, actually. And you can see that quite clearly here. We got rejected straight off the thing and straight down. Nearly a $5,000 drop in 2 days, okay? So bloody painful, all right? So what is happening now? So we're ranging in between, roughly, around $45,531 and $52,000. Okay, so that's what's happening. And right now you can see we're in a bit of a falling wedge, and we have hit support here on the green, which is the support of the whole overall trend. We did bounce off it. We could bring that up a tiny bit here, just roughly around there. Okay, so we did come down earlier on today and retest 46,573, and you can see clearly along here on the line on the 4-hour chart there is good support there. If we do come down further, we're looking at 45,531. Okay, now what happens if we break that? Okay, so I'm just going to go to the 8-hour chart, just to be a bit easier to see. Okay, so if we break that range, I'm expecting a move, below 45,500. We're going down to kind of 42,000 region, I would expect. Okay, around this area here. This is all, good to go. All right. Am I panicking? No, not really. No, not at all, actually. Why am I not panicking? Because we have expiry options on New Year's Eve. And this is quite funny because, they want to keep it around the 48,000 region, okay? And what's happening in here, when I'm just going to go in a bit closer, is you're getting short squeezes and long squeezes, and the retail investor is getting nailed inside this zone here, getting absolutely killed, okay? So you've got longs, you've got guys going long down here, up here, and they get squeezed and straight down, okay? The shorts going short down here today at 46,530, and they squeeze them out. Now we've got guys thinking we're going to break up, you're going long, leveraging again, squeeze them down, okay? So I'm not saying this is going to bounce out, but right now it is in a bullish falling wedge, and this is the 4-hour chart. And where would I if that was to break out, where would I think it would go? Well, I would think it would go back to the 0.618, which would be up around this region. And this is my fib retracement, so I pulled that out. And a minimum back around that region there. Okay, so back to $49,949. That's where I'd expect a resolution of this falling wedge. And everybody's bearish right now. That drop, everybody was probably bullish, thinking we'd recovered. And this is how they wear you down, okay? And this is classic, in a form manipulation. We're coming to the futures. That's where I expect the area up here to kind of break out this direction eventually and make a move. Can this fail? Of course. Okay, these guys can do whatever they want. They will drop this market. They will make you bleed. They will make you second guess yourself. Okay, and everybody in crypto right now is going, oh my God, we're screwed. Okay, but it's quite funny that the option expiry is on New Year's Eve. It's quite interesting. We're around 48,000. You might have institutions selling off in order to get their balance sheets in order, and they'll probably sell off and they'll buy back in. Okay, but we're around the 48,000 region. That's where it wants to be. Okay. And if I go in closer, I'm going to go to maybe the 15 minute. If we look at where we're at and where 48,000 is. Okay. So you can see we're having fierce trouble, okay, with 48,000. I'm just going to turn off the volume there. It's really, really kind of annoying. Okay. So you can see here, I'm just going to mark off $48,000. And actually, I didn't even actually have to look. I just, it's quite obvious around there. So you can see here, we're just rejected, rejected, rejected. Might even have a small bit of an inverse head and shoulders here forming. Something like this. Okay, I'm just throwing ideas out there, guys. Now that's probably invalidated because it's gone too far down. This is a thought I had also, but it looks like it's invalidated. That's cool. Okay, so we're still in this falling wedge. All right, I'm just going to go back to these. So $48,000 is an area of contention. If we break 48,000, I'd be looking at 48,651 would be our next move up, and we're still within the wedge here. Okay, I'm just looking at the times. Okay, or sorry, the different levels of resistance and support, and I would like to see a resolvement about this 0.618 at 49,972. That'd be the 0.618 of this falling wedge. I'm just going to go back to the 8 hour. It's a bit easier to see because we can kind of see what we're looking at here properly. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. So again, green is your support, red is your actual resistance. And look, let's take a look at where I might think that it might break out if it was to break to the upside. Okay, so what would be my measured move, okay, to the upside? So we're looking at a roughly about 18% move. If we did resolve this wedge to the upside, what would that be? Okay, so 18% move, you're talking roughly, well, what do you know, like up past around $60,000, $61,000. Okay, that would be kind of a resolvement up around that direction. You know what? I'll pull it right back. I'll pull it back to the 59,000 region. That is a huge area we need to break. So I'll bring it back to 15% just to be conservative. That's what I would like to see, a move up around that direction and a break past that. We do have huge resistance at a bit in this whole area here between 50, I would say, probably around 57 maybe. Yeah, up around this area here, 57 to 59. Big resistance up around that area. I'll just put a little box around it, okay? And I'm going to put another horizontal line right there, okay? So we have big resistance in that area, okay? Just like we have another box of resistance above us here, okay, at around the 53,000. Let's just call it 53,000 to 54,000 region. Big resistance there as well. So these are a couple of things we need to get over before we start making a proper move. And I would have expected to see kind of come up to the 53,000 region and test it and reject, okay? But we got to the 52,000 and rejected. And why? Because they didn't want us to get past that. Okay, so I know there's a lot of boxes here right now, all right, but just stay with me. All right, so what I'd like to see in the immediate short term is a resolvement of this falling wedge, which is a bullish move. Okay, and again, this is not financial advice, but this applies to the whole market and what the market is doing and what the alts are doing. And why did the alts get killed? I mean, we were serious profit. And now, boom, we're all back down again, okay? And this is tiring. This is what they want to do. They want to tire you out. They don't want you in the market, and they don't want me in the market. You'll second guess yourself, and you'll go, oh my God, we're screwed. No, we're not, okay? You have to see that there's an expiry coming up in the options on Friday. I would expect to see a movement on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, second day after New Year's Day, the 2nd of January. You have the stock market, the Dow Jones hit all-time high. And when you see these moves, technically speaking, you do see a move in Bitcoin, and generally Bitcoin will follow. So I would expect this eventually to break out and up. This might not happen today or tomorrow, but we might even come down further in here. All right, and retest down around this region, the 46,500 region again, or maybe even come down, keep pulling down in here to the 45.5 and get a bounce. So you could extend this down around here. Okay, it could be something like this. Okay, but I would expect a resolution up around this area back to the golden pocket. Obviously, if we come down further down here, the golden pocket will change. It'll be further down here. Okay. But that's what I'm looking at right now. That's the overall structure of where the market, and when I say the market, I'm talking about Bitcoin because that is controlling the whole market. Okay. If we go to the daily for a second, we still do have a little bump and run thing type of going on. This is the bit daily, and look, that was a brutal candle, but they don't want us here and they want us to pay. And if you are going to be in this market, you know, you're going to pay your dues right now. Okay. So we've got a bump and run type of scenario going on here, which would be something like this. Okay, I'm going to put this in blue so it's a bit clearer to see. And what is a bump and run? It's where we break out, okay, come back and bump down into the support, and then we bounce. And we've seen this before previously in March 2020. We've had the similar scenario. Okay, so that's in blue. And what does that generally revolve in? Like, how does that actually work out? Well, a bump and run is something like this, and we make a bump, and we move, and we take off. Okay, now what is telling me that might be the case is the fact that we're in a falling wedge. Okay, so if we're in a falling wedge, and generally speaking, the breakout of a falling wedge is up, and I'm going to go back to the 8 hour again. It usually resolves itself back up into the golden pocket area minimum. So we have a bump and run formation, which is a reversal pattern. And these are thoughts I have. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but these are thoughts I have. They could still drop us easily and put the fear into everybody. The fear and greed index is very, very low. Again, we're still hanging around, I don't know, I think it's 30 or something. And this drop here would have annihilated a lot of people. But keep the faith, okay? This is what I'm watching for. We've got support here on the daily, bump and run type of vibe, reversal pattern maybe. We've got the big falling wedge. Our falling wedge could, show confluence with the support of the bump and run. We've got support at 46,573, support at 45,531. They might drop us down here to make you think and make you capitulate. I'm getting so many comments right now. What is happening to my altcoin? What do you think is happening to your altcoin? Your altcoin's getting destroyed. Why? Because actually, again, I will say it again, Bitcoin is leading this market, not your altcoin. Okay? The dominance last night dropped to, I think it was something like 39. You could see the alts were making a move. What we'd like to see here is if Bitcoin starts going back up and breaks back out, we'd like to see the alts make a run, the dominance come down. Okay, but we're very close. Dominance is not moving up. It's 40.25%. It's still hanging on a thread. Okay, if that dominance start coming down, your alts will explode, and we'd like to see a movement up. That would coincide with the movement up out of Bitcoin, and then the dominance dropping, and then your alts will kick in. And anything below 40%, we've got moving back down to 36%, 30%, you'll see alts exploding. But this is why your alt is not moving right now, and the market is stagnant, and there's a lot of losses, is because I would expect this is a huge manipulation, and we were coming in, yes, to a small bit of resistance, and I didn't think it was that big at 52,000, but we got hammered back down, and they wanted it to put us down here. Okay, but they will $48,000 again. This line here, it needs to be hanging around there for the expiries. Okay, so this is where we're at, guys. I wouldn't be panicking. I'm going to take a look at the stochastics really, really quickly. This is the 8 hour stochastic on the floor. Okay, look at the 4 hour. We're on the floor. We're oversold. 2 hours just pulling back. Okay, the hourly is in no man's land, in neutral territory. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily should be pulling back. Daily is really pulled back right now. That is pulled back quite a bit, which is quite interesting. 12 hours on the floor. We're oversold. Okay, let's take a look at the short term. 15 minutes midterm, 5 minutes just turning up, which means there's a bounce, should be moving up. The 30 minute is coming down. So the stochastics kept telling me, yeah, we might have a small little pullback down into this zone here. I'm just going to go back to the 4 hour. and I hope you're still with me and understanding what I'm looking at. So we might have a small little pullback down in here. This area might come down and test this again around the 46,573. That could happen, and we might bounce, and I would like to see a bounce out and resolution out of this falling wedge, because we are in a bullish formation right now, and you must not forget that. You know, you buy on supports. We're on support now. If we break here, that's another big support. Okay, that's where you accumulate. Okay, and that's my thinking. This is not financial advice. Okay, guys, so this is Equal Surf Ireland Crypto. If you're wondering and crying why your I suppose altcoin is collapsing, you know, it's because Bitcoin is having a big move, big correction, and it's having a move created by whales and manipulation, and they're hanging around 48,000. Okay, so I wouldn't start panicking. Keep the faith. I'm looking forward to 2022. You know, I started this channel, I had like 4 subscribers. I've now 610. This is awesome. And thanks for subscribing. And, you know, I really look forward to having this journey with you in the new year. I've been very, very busy, and I haven't had much time to actually make a huge amount of videos, but this is just a quick market update. And I will hopefully be back in the next 2 days with another video. We will probably have a resolution of what's going on here in the new year, or even New Year's Eve. You know, we'll see again when the daily finishes here. We might even pull back down here again into 45,458 and a bounce. And remember, we had a big pullback today down to 46.5, and we had a big bounce, $1,000 drop and $1,000 bounce. So there's a lot of manipulation going on, a lot of games. Okay, so keep the faith. This is Equal Surf Ireland Crypto. I would love to have you as a subscriber. This is a quick market update where we're at. I wouldn't be panicking. I'm certainly not. And you know, this is to scare you. All right, 100%. Okay, 2022, I'm looking forward to it already. All right, awesome, guys. And thank you for, you know, again, subscribing. This is Equal Surf Ireland Crypto. And I just like to say awesome. And I will talk to you soon, and keep the faith.